Lunchtime today, Oxford Circus in London's West End, and the police start moving in. But it's not long before the protesters regain the upper hand and the police are once more reduced to bystanders.
Well, just in the last 15 minutes or so, things have changed slightly. This morning, things were very quiet, very subdued, very peaceful. They were doing yoga in the middle of Oxford Circus.
How long are you going to stay?
As long as it takes. Weeks. I've got 3 weeks booked off.
The disruption began on Monday with demonstrators stopping traffic in a number of key locations across the city.
300 or so police officers have just arrived. I'm going to step out the way so you can have a better look. They've essentially surrounded this big pink boat, which is essentially the Extinction Rebellion iconic boat that's been sitting in the middle of Oxford Circus for the last 5 days.
Although Extinction Rebellion claims to be non-violent, they've been deliberately causing criminal damage, notably to the Shell building on London's South Bank.
It's worth saying that also in the last hour or so, the actress Emma Thompson, who's a big supporter of the movement, has arrived. She addressed crowds here. You can see her there on the live shot. A couple of officers too arriving with carabiners, perhaps indicating that they might try and get up and try and get people safely off that boat. Underneath you can see there are people chained to it. They say they're refusing to move until the government address their demands. I interviewed Emma Thompson earlier. This is what she had to say about the protests and the climate change threat more broadly.
I've been with Greenpeace to the Arctic twice. I've stood on the bare glaciers. I've seen the plastic in the oceans. I've seen evidence for myself. And I really do care about my children and my grandchildren enough to want to be here today to stand next to the next generation who are so inspiring, who so understand the problem. It's as though we've just been going around, well, not me actually, I've been banging on about it for years, and so have many, many people. But I really do feel like I can't even describe the level of hypocrisy from our government.
And today, 3 protesters who stopped DLR trains coming into Canary Wharf appeared in court pleading not guilty to a charge of obstruction.
I am so proud and thrilled to be part of Extinction Rebellion.
Earlier, Extinction Rebellion's Marble Arch encampment was treated to celebrity reinforcements in the form of the Oscar-winning actor Emma Thompson. But for some Londoners, this is all wearing a bit thin.
Protesters adopting a tactic where they're lying on the ground, which means it's taking 4 officers at least to arrest each individual. And they also don't have the space or the resource within custody to hold them for very long. So, as I said, police on other days have arrived and started arresting pretty quickly. They've been here 15 minutes or so, standing, blocking some of the key locations. But at the moment, they haven't made a move, so we will see what happens and what develops.